we go. Okay, so we were on the fact that because women have taken bigger roles because of technology, childcare has been affected in terms of who takes care of the child when the parents are working. So they may need to pay for childcare services to keep in truth with what the economic function is, just to provide for the child, right? Okay, and this is another one that is a little bit on the side where it's not necessarily a large scale importance where you need to care for elderly because not every household has elderlies to take care of. So when a family needs to provide economically for the elderly, they need to have a paid service provider for them. So everybody understand how you economically provide for your family members? You either wash, cook, or clean, pay for a childcare service, or just take care of them yourself, right? Right. Could you guys have heard me the whole time, or was I muted?
We could hear you, sir.
Okay, good. I was relieved because I didn't want to repeat everything. Good, good. All right. So my wrong mic was connected. My bad.
Sir, I couldn't hear anything, sir. 41490.
Couldn't hear anything. Okay, my bad. All right.
So you have to repeat everything.
I feel like you're lying because one person already said they heard me.
They did.
Right, but all right. Let me just quickly summarize what I was saying. So there are three main functions a family need to provide economically, but it's not for every family because it's not a case that every family has elders, right? But in the case of a child, because parents and a child is what makes a family, right? Or you can just have a man and woman. But in that case, they need to provide economically by cooking, cleaning, right, or just providing laundry for the entire family. Or in the case of when there is a child present, if both father and mother are the breadwinner, they need to pay for a childcare service for that child to ensure that they're being taken care of. And in the special case now where you do have elders in your family, such as when you have an extended family, right? You need to provide a paid service such as nursery home or so forth to ensure that your elders are taken care of. That's how you economically provide for your family by paying or expending services for the well-being of your members. Everybody understand? All right. Heard yes, sir. Okay, good. I'm just kidding. Everybody understand, right? So it's paying
Yes, sir.
either financially or through service to your family members to ensure that they are being taken care of. Okay. All right. Now we can quickly cover one more before we wrap up here. In the social function, we need to explain what exactly do you mean by helping them interact with others, right? Because we said that socialization is where you help the child to gain knowledge and language skills by fitting them into social groups, such as families and friends. But why exactly do you do this? Here are four different reasons why. So let's head up social function. So all of this is explaining why. So I should have put do we why do we need a cultural function? Why do we need a economic function? Right? And now why do we need a social function? Right? Am I still recording? I think so. Right, yes, I am recording. Right, so why do we need now a social function? There we go. Okay. So I said I have four main points as to why I think you need to have your child grow up in a friend group, or even just around proper family members. One, it gives a child a sense of who they are, right? If you hang around, have you heard the saying, you hang around those who you become? No, you become who you hang around. So if you hang around delinquents, guess what? You're gonna be a delinquent. If you hang around people that uplift you morally, right, you become a person of morals and values. So in the case of providing a social need for your child, you're helping them to interact with different groups to become who you want them to be, or to become a person of high moral and value. That's an idealistic way to look at it. So in essence, when you put them in social groups like making them meet their families or friends, you're giving them a cured role and responsibility. You're telling them, hey, you need to behave just like this person, or you need to behave as this person, and teach them how to form proper relationships with others. Right? Those are the main 4 points that I have underneath why we need a social function. All right, now let's get into, there we go. Let's get into now why we would need the last one, which is emotional function. Because this is the one where I said that it's a little bit on the high end of confusion with people. Because here's why. It's not a case that love is the answer for every family. Right? When you provide love, sometimes that even push them away. So it's a case where negativity and positivity needs to have a balance in that family ordeal by emotionally supporting them. Right? So let's understand. Every family needs support through confidence and high self-esteem in what they're doing. If you're becoming an artist, you wouldn't want your family to tell you that, hey, we don't have a good line of artists in our family, so probably you shouldn't do it. That's not emotionally providing for that member. So we say families provide love, affection, and support, as well as attention to any person's dream in the family. Why do we need an emotional function? Right? Because it provides love, support, and attention to our family members' dream or aspiration. Let's put aspiration in life. Right? Next aspect is that people with higher self-esteem and greater confidence actually have greater chance to complete what they want to do, because they learn these skills on how to deal with conflict in the family. That's right. When people receive love and support, they have the tools necessary to deal with stress and conflict. All right, and let's put one more. All right, so let's understand why I was talking about the fact that it's not every family this goes for. Because even when you have that love and support, you encounter high levels of conflict and negativity, which your family can't help you to go over because they don't know how to experience that. So let's put, however, even in families with high levels of conflict, the downside. Even in families with high levels of conflict and negative emotions, right? They don't know how to treat each other emotionally, right? Wait, I disabled the, yeah? Right, I just realized because I was like, wait, I didn't disable the waiting room. My bad, my bad. Thank you, thank you. I was like, wait, did I disable the waiting room? And I couldn't remember. All right. Welcome back, guys. My bad. I didn't realize that the waiting room was enabled. Welcome, welcome. All right. So the good thing though, it has been recorded and the notes is on the screen, so you're good. So we're just getting into why we need each function. Why we need the cultural function. Let me quickly edit this. All right. There we go. Why we need the economic function, why we need the social function, the emotional function, and then what's the downside to the emotional. Because I said that not every family understands how to treat each other emotionally. That's why we still don't understand how to treat each other with true love. So when you have families in high levels of conflict and negative emotions such as anger, right? The support is the only way, the individual support, the individual approach to support of each member is the only way to attain a sense of family identity. Is the only way to attain a sense of family identity. Because what's the whole ordeal with like not treating your family members right? Because they are who you are. So if you treat them with animosity and hate, that will never lead to you coming together again. That's why I'm still trying to stress it, that emotional function is not just providing love, affection, and support. It's actually about understanding that you're just trying to get to a sense of identity in your family. So just saying that, oh, I can't even talk to them or whatever, will lead you to really abstain from even getting a connection with them again. Because the whole point is to have a family identity. So if you say because there's negativity, you don't want to interact with them, you don't want to cause anything, that won't solve the emotional problem that's happening in your family. So you need to provide the support in their family. Everybody understand? All right. So those were the whys as it relates to our functions. Let me close it up. So why? Let me put, why do we need each function? Should be here. All right, and then cultural function. Why do we need cultural function? Any questions, guys? All right, okay. So what I'll do, I'll quickly give you an exercise to do with me to make sure you understand. Here's an exercise. All right. I'm gonna now give you some pictures, and you're gonna tell me what exactly do you think the situation that's happening in the picture is. All right. All right. Let me go for a picture real quick. Family and all right. Let's quickly take the notes there. All right. There we go. All right. All right. Can you see this picture?
Yes, sir.
All right. Someone know. Let's see. Let's see who's here. All right. Sine. All right. You're gonna take me through what you think this picture might be talking about. So you have a child that is abstaining from listening to the conversation between her father and her mother. What type of function do you see coming out to affect the family?
Emotional.
Right? So give me a scenario as what might be happening.
Maybe the parents are arguing about who's more capable of taking care of the child.
Right?
That's why he's pointing at her, and I guess she has heard the conversation before, so she's covering up her ears to drown it out.
Okay. All right. And even if it's the flip side where it's not a case that she wants something to be done, it's just that she's in trouble, right? The family is still at fault because here's why. The child from birth just reciprocates everything that they see. So if the child is misbehaving, right, you cannot say, oh well, they need to be more responsible. They literally do everything that they see. So if you are doing X, Y, and Z, why do you expect that the child will do A? It's a totally opposite perspective with families where they think that the child is always responsible. It's because they haven't provided emotional support majority of the time why children act out, such as this picture. Right? Now, what I want to do quickly is ask you, give me one example that of a family So this is a typical nuclear family, but give me an example of a family that is not related by blood. In other words, so just a family structure that does not have a biological function.
Foster family, sir.
Repeat?
Foster family.
Right. Foster family.
Step family.
Right. Step family. Yeah. I'll take these two examples. Okay. All right. So the reason why I'm asking is because typically the main 5 functions of the family will never be perfectly met by foster families and step families. The reason being because the biological function cannot be met. Because obviously, the child isn't coming from their line of lineage. But what I want you to understand is that they might overlap in terms of functions. So let me give you an example. Here we go. Let me take this example real quick. All right, one moment. All right. Okay, yeah. So let me give you a picture, and you try to tell me what function this family is accomplishing. All right. Okay. Upload. And there we go. Right. What type of function was being accomplished there? Anyone?
What's the question, sir?
What type of function was being displayed in that picture? Where you see the
Emotional.
The reason I say because it's some key detail. Let's go back on the picture. Right. Okay, send me the homework, right? Okay. So when you say emotional, what do you mean in terms of emotional support? So you look at the picture again. What is the mother providing to that child in terms of emotion? Joy, happiness.
Well, maybe it could also be educational too, because they're teaching. They may be setting a bad example for the child.
Right. Look at the background for me. Doesn't this look like a cultural meal or a cultural preparation where you see
that picture, sir?
Yeah, this picture. It's on the diagram right here.
I was thinking of the other picture.
Wait, which picture? This? Oh, this one.
Yes, sir.
Oh no, I meant this picture where you see the different. Yeah, you see the mother and the child happy, but in terms of the background is what I wanted to answer. Like you're embracing their cultural function, right, as well as the love and affection. All right. Now we're gonna move on into the different family types. Did you go through that? We talk about unions and relationships. All right, hearing a no. Okay, good. Well, not good, but okay. Let's go through the different. So head up for me, unions and relationships. Unions. Let me head it up. All right, there we go. Unions and relationships. So this is talking about the different family types. the different, not a different family type, but the different ways a family can be made. Ways a family can be made. All right. But before we go through that, I want to really gauge your understanding of your role and responsibilities in a family. So this topic will come after we've talked about your roles and responsibility. Here we go. So I'm going to ask you some questions and you just tell me what do you understand about it. Okay. In terms of your household, right? For the females here, what is your responsibility in the house?
Love and affection, sir.
Right. Okay. So you provide love and affection for your younger sibling, I'm guessing?
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. So let me write that. So for example, if you're at home, if you have an older sibling, right, your responsibility is to provide love and support for that member. Right? Now, in the case of the general look at what is happening, each member of a family has a role, right? And the role is simply telling what your position in that family is. All right, let me write that. So let's go here. So what we essentially want to understand is that the role is a pattern of behavior that comes from your position in the family. So as an older sibling, even if your parents didn't tell you, you start to feel a connection to make sure that your younger siblings doesn't go through things that you might have. So you want to protect them, right? Let me give an example with your parents. A parent's role is to take care of the children and make decisions for the general household. Example, parent. All right. Then after you understand what role is, you have some responsibilities as a older sibling or just even a father. Okay, now let me ask you, the person that answered again, do you have any responsibilities in the household? What are you responsible for?
Me, sir?
Yeah.
Cooking, sometimes clean, and take care of my younger cousin.
Right. So let's write that. Sometimes we have roles that predates what we should do, which is just be a family member. You have several responsibilities, such as paying for the rent, the parents, providing food, buying clothes, taking care of siblings, and so forth. So the role is what your behavior is just by how you treat others in the family, but your responsibilities now are prescribed to you, what you should do in the family. Everybody understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. So let me put responsibilities. And let me give you an example of a responsibility, which is to parent, right, and to buy clothes and so forth. There we go. All right, let me indent these because I want those to be readable. So therefore, when I close up the roles and I close the responsibility, you should be able to understand everything. There we go. All right. All right. So that essentially covers everything there. So we can move on now to the next topic. But the activity that I wanted to do is to do these two things for me. All right. Activity. This will be due again. Date picker. Saturday. Let's put it here. Step 1. Identify 2 different roles you play and explain them. right? And then in your own words, define the role and responsibility definition. All right? So activity. Now, let me give you a little guideline you can use to follow to pick your roles. All right? Just look at this picture for me quickly. Upload. Right? So using this diagram now, you can go and choose which one based on the household that your responsibilities are. All right? Sounds good, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Repeat?
Can you repeat what you said, please?
Yeah. So I'm saying that your two tasks under roles and responsibilities in the family is to firstly identify two roles that you have and explain two responsibilities that you have for those roles. So if you are the younger sibling, what is your responsibility as a younger sibling? Right? And this diagram now helps you to understand what aspect of the household that needs responsibilities taken care of. Then when you've done that now, you can, in your own words, define what the role definition is and what responsibility means. And this is due Saturday. Sounds good? So I will be putting it at the top of the website, right? Because we don't have a portal or anything to really go off. So I'll put every activity and the due date at the top of the portal. Right. Now the next topic, so we're just quickly going through, is to really go and understand what I was talking about earlier, where I said that men and women are the breadwinners in nowadays. So let's quickly read this paragraph. Let me put it, and then I want Janae to read the paragraph for me. Right? Traditional roles and responsibilities. Right? Let me broaden it up. There you go. All right. Read this for me, Janae. Are you there? In traditional societies, let me check. Oh, she left. My bad. Talia.
Yes, sir.
Right. Can you read this couple sentences for me quickly? Just to summarize everything that we've been doing so far in roles and responsibilities.
Okay. In traditional societies, men are breadwinners and the head of the house responsible for making decisions. Women took care of the children, doing the housework and preparing meals. Girls helped their mother with the housework and looking after the children. Boys might help with work such as cleaning and gardening. Today, women and men may both work and spend equal amounts of time earning money for the family. They are also more likely to share equal responsibility for decisions such as how money is spent and how children are disciplined. Today there is greater awareness of women's and girls' rights to equality. However, some families still expect members to follow more traditional rules.
Right. So now the traditional rules that it's referring to, all right, I will just quickly put that little table right here after the, let's close up. I'm going to put a little table of traditional rules that children and the parents usually follow before technology has insinuated in the family. Okay. So the first one, let's go here. Let's create a table for children. And go here. Table. Let me go. Children. Okay. So children were responsible for these things. Showing respect for their parents, help with the household chores, right? Caring for their siblings, attending school, take responsibility for their studies, and ensure that they don't waste family money for frivolous things. So that was the first table. Then the parents had the role of, we'll go here, parents meeting basic economic needs, providing emotional support. There you go. Socialize children, educate them, and pass on traditions and customs. Obviously, we will need to put this above to show that they originate from the parents. But what comes before parents? Grandparents. And if you're in a traditional household like this, you typically have your grandparents living with you, so they would have roles in the family. Right? Their roles look a little bit like this. To provide support for the parents themselves, help with looking after the children. Hence, when I said that they need to provide babysitters or nannies for when they're both the breadwinners, right? Providing financial assistance, helping with this child's social and emotional growth, and pass on again customs, traditions, and family history to the parents who then do it to the children. Right. So that's a little table to help you memorize the different customs and close it up. Everybody understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. So let me put the activity at the very lower section. Okay, there we go. So that's everything really. Your roles, responsibilities, the traditional roles, the table of traditional roles, and then your activity. All right. So now we can move on now to one last topic before we end there. Let's close up everything here. So we already took off this picture. We don't have to have it there. Okay. You can erase this picture as well. All right, there we go. All right. And we can put all of these in another section for the functions of a family. Let's put that there. All right. Quickly. All right, there we go. There we go. So functions, family. All right. So we can move on now and go into the next topic, which is how do you deal with conflict? All right. What is conflict? Anyone? What is the definition of conflict? Do you know? All right. If you get into a conflict with your parents, how would you define that situation?
A conflict is like a disagreement or argument between one another person.
Okay. Right. So, but the thing I want you to understand is not just a disagreement, because disagreements typically don't lead to conflicts. You can healthily disagree with someone without having a conflict. You can say, I don't think that happened, so therefore I don't agree with you. But when you say a conflict, that means it's a serious disagreement where you're clashing to the point where you can't even formally speak about it. Okay, so let's write that. All right, conflicts Conflicts is a serious disagreement or a clash between two or more people. Bad. Right? But sometimes you can, through a function in the family, solve conflict. What function would solve conflict? So let's go back in the functions of the family. Look at the 5 main functions. Tell me which function would solve. Let's clean up here. There we go. Which function would solve conflict? Is it social function, cultural function, economic function, biological function? All of them leads to conflict, but in terms of solving it, which application could you use to solve it? Anyone? Right. I heard someone just move, but that's okay. So the function that you would use to solve a conflict is emotional function. Right? Right. Okay. So the next subtopic then is conflict resolution. Right? The process of ending a conflict and coming to us a solution is called conflict resolution. So there are many steps. Well, based on how you would typically solve a problem in a family, you would use steps, right? And the steps could be summarized into 5 main things. Let me give you the first step. So we're gonna say step 1, acknowledging or admitting the problem. Someone give me a problem that they would have in their family household. Let me choose Brandon. Give me a problem that you would have between you and a family member.
Time was spent on video games.
video game consumption. Right? Step 2. Is to commit to a process of finding that solution. So, for example, to solve video game consumption, actively pursue a passion. Right? Help your family member to find another passion, because video games is not a case where it's bad for you, it's just overconsumption of it is bad. Same as anything in life. So when you want to get over addiction, you just find a passion. Something you're passionate about to invest your energy into.
Watch YouTube.
If that's your passion, then I have no issue with that. Right. So the third step now